Hello guys, this is Booming here and welcome back to another video, and today I'm well aware I've not uploaded in like a month, but that's because I haven't really had anything to talk about. So I've just figured I'm gonna talk about something that's kind of been like unraveling over the past couple months. Although it's probably something you've never thought about. You've probably been told your entire life contrary, and you've probably are still into the Matrix, per se. Elon Musk is an idiot. That's a lie. I always come up with the word idiot before anything else. He's pathetic. That's probably a better term. He isn't like the Hawk Tuah girl who's both, even though I kind of wish he was. But yeah, we're going to be talking about Elon Musk today. Now, has been a lot of controversies which have been going on with Elon Musk's. Although I'm only going to talk about two, I think. Because if I went over every single controversy Elon Musk had, this video would probably go over the 12-hour limit that YouTube has, and yeah. The two things I think I'm going to talk about is his questionable views on like labor force and that sort of stuff, and also like the claims of sexual harassment in the workforce and that sort of stuff as well, and how he responds. Because the way he's responding is just scummy. Also, why does it look like I have a sunburn? It's been like -11 here over the past week. What the heck? Anyways, I think I'm gonna check it in a mirror in a little bit, but yeah, so first off, the bit of controversy that's kind of came with there's been recently some infighting within the Republican Party because of some statements Elon Musk has made. It's mainly two different ones. The first one being that he's gonna hire talented people from India so that he can just pay them for less and they can work on his projects. And the other one is basically him saying that every person should work 80 hours a week, and it's basically a bare minimum. First, with the thing about Indian engineers. Now, the reason why he's saying this is not because like he's being inclusive or anything like that. He only wants Indian engineers, and here's why: he can pay them for much less than the average American. You know, the average greedy American who is so greedy and entitled that they believe that $1,000 a year is not enough to live. Yeah, that person. But yeah, he's been doing that because India is currently a poorer country than us. The GDP per capita is lower, so people are earning less. And basically, it's a form of cheap labor. It's basically the exact same thing with corporations moving all of their factories outside of the U.S. so that they can make more profits and make items cheaper and get more profits. Yeah, it's basically that exact same thing. Both engineers. It's not that though that the Republican Party has been having a bit of a conflict on. It's the fact that he's admiring non-white people the same way as white people. Those white Americans, which is causing problems. Now, I'm not saying that every Republican is racist. I firmly believe that most actually aren't. But I'm talking about the ones which actually are racist at the current moment. The ones who actually believe that like Hispanics and that sort of stuff are subhuman to white people. I'm talking about those. So once they heard Elon talking about this master plan of hiring Indian engineers or whatever, I mean Indian as like from the country India, if you couldn't tell. I don't mean Native American. They started to freak out big time. And basically this sort of Republican civil war happened where like different factions of the far right are now fighting each other, like the Elon dick suckers and the and the white supremacists. Yeah, that is definitely an interesting concept for a sci-fi movie. If this was written like 10 years ago, or if this was 10 years ago, I wonder what would happen if the dick suckers of a multi-billionaire who exploits people fight against white supremacists. I wonder who will win. And the other thing I was going to talk about was a claim he made, like within this sort of own controversy, where basically what he said is, "I work 80 hours a week and I'm perfectly fine, so you all should too." Am I the only one who thinks this sounds very Stalin? Like it's like that sort of energy of we are the workers' paradise, and you shall work to make the workers' paradise even more of a paradise, even though it's only a paradise for Stalin, or in this case, Elon Musk. It's that sort of same energy, I feel like. Also, 80 hours a week is actually ridiculous. I mean, I doubt that he works 80 hours a week. I bet you that's a lie. But even so, you're a multi-billionaire. Like you're making money extremely quickly. So it makes sense you'd be extremely enthusiastic with what you work with, especially since all of the things you do were companies you created. So it's basically your own interests. So of course you'll be extremely motivated to work, and maybe there is a possibility that you do work 80 hours a week. Although if so, that's the reason why. That is not the case for most other people. That's not the case for the average person working at McDonald's, or the average, I don't know, construction worker, or the average truck driver, or the average butcher. You know, people who work for corporations which have these multi-billionaires in as their heads. Basically, people who are paid below the poverty line and have to deal with very, very limited workers' rights, and also lots of harassment within it. Yeah, from customers or their employers. Yeah, they're not going to enjoy working 80 hours a week of that misery. They already have to deal with 40, not twice as much. Like, their lives are already miserable enough. They already have very little free time. You really think them working twice as much is like something they'd like to do? Like, really? The reason why a lot of these people have double jobs is because you asshole CEOs don't pay them enough. And because of that, they have to resort to a different job so that they can make just barely enough for them to live. To be honest, I won't even be surprised if Elon Musk makes a statement about how child labor is good in a couple months. But yeah, there's that. And also, if you already think 80 hours a week of working is worse enough, well, he thinks that sexual harassment is also completely fine. And he thinks it's so fine that he decided to move all of his headquarters to a different state so he wouldn't have to worry about lawsuits. What the fuck? Sexual harassment should be an instant fire. Anywhere. What the hell? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, Elon Musk basically all of his factories were in California for a long time. Although there were constant complaints about sexual harassment inside of those complexes. And there were oftentimes about higher ups as well. You see, he could have been responsible. He could have, had a serious discussion with workers, whatever, or sorry, the higher ups, and that sort of stuff, to basically make sure that it doesn't happen. But no. He just decided to move all of them to Texas. And Texas apparently doesn't have very good labor laws. And one of the things is that there isn't really any law against sexual harassment. So basically, he's just trying to avoid all of those lawsuits by just basically making so that victims of sexual harassment can't speak up for themselves. Let me tell you, I've been sexually harassed before in the workplace. Now, you've probably heard it a couple times, just because the story is kind of comical, but I actually have, and it is extremely uncomfortable. Like, I did not want to go to work at all, because I knew I shared the same shifts with her, and I didn't want to be anywhere near her. Now, she never even got fired, which is a whole different issue. I have a feeling that gender might be involved for that, but that's not beside the case. What I'm saying is, I've been harassed before in the workplace. They mishandled it. She did eventually learn her lesson, and she stopped. Although during the month that it was happening, it was extremely uncomfortable and nerve-wracking. My hands were actually shaking before I'd go to work. That's how uncomfortable I was. And this is the sort of stuff Elon Musk wants their workers to feel. with their 80-hour work shifts. Work weeks, not work shifts. That is actually ridiculous. Coming in 2026, Elon Musk's new proposal of an 80-hour work shift. There's also been a situation which has been actually unfolding currently of a friend of mine IRL who is currently being sexually harassed by another dude who's like in the same class as both of us. There's been a lot of stuff also affecting me with it, so I'm like really involved in it as well. It's currently still unraveling, and it is crazy, but yeah, just and let me tell you, she is afraid to go anywhere near him. Now immediately when he gets a whiff of her, he'd like straight up come up to her and start like forcing conversation on her or whatever. Uh, and in situations like that where she'd like have to be in the same room as him, she'd just like get out as quickly as possible. But yeah, that is kind of the common response to sexual harassment. You just don't want to be around that person, although you're kind of forced to with 80-hour work weeks. Especially if you're in the same shift or like same class or whatever. What I'm saying is that sexual harassment is never okay. And it basically makes it ruins the workplace for everyone. And not to mention it makes workers less productive as well. I mean, which is kind of has been a theme of capitalism lately, just making things less like sacrificing quality for quantity. But what I'm saying is that it's a complete motivation killer. Like, I see why women are so pissed off when they're harassed by men. I mean, I know it's mostly men on women. Like I said, I was harassed by women before, so it does happen the other way around. Although, like, from my experience, from everyone I've known who I've been sexually harassed, we all have the same conclusion. It's absolutely fucking miserable, and it should be fireable. Like, straight up. But yeah, that's my rant about Elon Musk. That slithery being. The totally not reptilian. Wait, I'm probably the lizard person, am I? I'm the lizard person for calling out Elon Musk for his cringe. There's also the gaming scandal, which is quite funny. Although I wasn't really going to talk about that in this video. I mean, this was supposed to be more serious about some of the more outlandish claims he's had about labor. Like, his worldview is just completely distorted. He is born into wealth. He has no fucking clue how to be a normal human being. Like, now he's just paying girls $1 billion each just to sleep with them and for them to raise his own children. Like, it's actually ridiculous. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel. Dislike if you dislike, and I'll see you guys all next video. Peace out. Oh yeah, and by the way, that the last part about paying $1 billion to have children, there's no evidence of that whatsoever. That was just a joke. So I know a lot of you Musk dick riders will comment that. It's a fucking joke. There's a good chance it might be real though. That's all I'm gonna say. Peace out.